One of the best things about riding during the summer is the ability to throw on just 2 or 3 pieces of clothing and be out of the door in just a few minutes. However, with winter closing in, you're going to need to put a little bit more thought into your clothing choices. The first and most important step is to decide what you're going to wear downstairs. Now, on milder days, you can get away with a pair of shorts and some leg warmers. But for most winter riding, you're going to want something a bit more serious, a pair of winter tights such as these. You really want a few things out of a pair of winter tights. You want them to offer good insulation, good windproofing, and for really foul weather, you might also want some with some water resistance too. One of the most important things to look for in a pair of winter tights is some with a nice high front, which will really help to keep your core warm when riding in very cold conditions. For winter, you're going to want a pretty thick base layer in order to keep all that warmth in, and merino wool is an excellent option for this. For really cold riding, it's also worth looking for a long sleeve base layer, such as this, which will really help to keep your arms warm. If your base layer is short sleeved, then you can always pair it with a pair of arm warmers, but much more important is your choice of jacket. The bad news is that you're not going to be able to buy one jacket and wear it all winter long. For slightly milder conditions, you can wear something like this, which is just a nice light wind shell. But when it's raining, you can use something like this, which is a nice waterproof, which will help keep you dry. Though in really cold conditions, you're going to want something like this, a much more heavy-duty jacket. Basically, you want 4 things from a winter jacket. You want it to be windproof, you want it to be waterproof, you want it to be well insulated, and you want it to be breathable. But the bad news is that you're going to have to spend a hell of a lot of money if you want to secure all 4. The most important thing is you pick a nice warm jacket that is both windproof and well insulated. This means that even if water does get in, then you're not going to get too cold. Breathability also becomes a factor if you're doing hard efforts, but to be honest, during your winter base miles, you're probably not going to be doing too many of these. The really important things to look for in a good winter jacket is a nice high neck to keep the wind out, nice long cuffs which can tuck nicely under your gloves, and decent sized pockets at the back, which will have enough storage space for all the food you're going to need on those long miles. So all of this lot should keep your torso and your legs warm, but what about your fingers and your toes, which are going to get much colder, much more quickly during winter rides. On your hands in really cold conditions, it's worth getting a pair of these, which are inner gloves, but most importantly, you have some heavy duty winter gloves, which will be both windproof and well insulated. You can also get waterproof ones, but the most important thing is to keep your hands warm, so even if wet, you don't suffer from numb fingers. Just as important is to keep your feet warm. Now, if you're heading out in truly apocalyptic conditions, you can get dedicated winter shoes such as these, but to be honest, for most of us, these are going to be a bit overkill. So, what you'll need is a pair, maybe 2, of nice warm socks, your normal cycling shoes, and some overshoes such as these. Now, I don't think I've ever come across a pair of truly waterproof overshoes. So again, the most important thing is to keep your feet warm. Normally, you want to be looking for a neoprene overshoe, which will help to really trap heat around your foot. Finally, your head. Now, there are a number of ways that you can keep this warm. You can either go for a skull cap, such as this, or a normal cotton cap, which is really great when it's raining, as you can just flip the front down and it will help to keep spray out of your eyes. Winter's also a good time to get a bit more use out of that expensive aero helmet that you bought, where the lack of ventilation really comes in use. Now, to complete the look, a pair of sunglasses. Now, this might seem a little odd during winter, but if you've got pairs with replaceable lenses, you can swap in the yellow or clear lenses, which will really help to brighten up the gloomiest of days. So there we go, fully kitted out. Now all you've got to do is summon the enthusiasm to get out and ride, even when the weather's not quite as nice as it is today.